Celebrity Stage Stories is an Edge magazine special presentation. Each issue of Edge explores a compelling theme with an intriguing blend of essays, articles, and photography, along with interviews with the biggest names in TV, movies, music, and more. Visit Edge Magazine's website for free digital versions of the magazine, exclusive digital content, and more at edgemagonline.com, and follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Now, on with the show.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Stage Stories with Jerry Strauss. That's me. And we're here with someone infinitely more exciting, someone you know, someone you love, someone you've watched on the big screen, the small screen, the Scream franchise. And you can see him right now in theaters in the Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. Major performance here from this man, David Arquette. He's with us, and we're happy to have him. How are you, man?
Good. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So great to have you and talk to you about this. You know, I want to ask you right off the bat, because for those of us who've kind of watched your career over the years, you've done a little bit of this and you've done a little bit of that. And I feel like you're just so unique because you're so well known in different categories. And there are times when, you go out and you do a movie and people say, well, wait, isn't he the guy who, like, the wrestler guy? And then there's times where you go out and you wrestle, or you get involved with the Bozo the Clown brand, and people say, well, wait, isn't he the actor? Like, there's always some sort of a re-education of exactly what you're capable of and who you are. Do you like that? Like, when you come out and do a movie like this and people are like, isn't he just the Scream guy? Is it kind of cool for you to see those reactions and shock people a little?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy living all these different lives and things that I'm really interested in and exploring these different characters. Getting to work on a film like this is a dream with such an incredible cast and a beautiful script written by Gabrielle Zevin, who wrote the novel.
Mm.
And Hans Canosa did just such a wonderful job setting all these wonderful actors and being able to play this character. She wrote a script that was so her voice and what she wanted to say, that it allowed me to be really grounded in this and just play a very, like, heartfelt, sweet small town cop who just really wanted to keep his town safe and keep it similar to what he experienced for the future.
Gotcha. And I wanted to ask you, it's interesting that there is that synergy between the book and the movie because they're both written by the same person. Is there a different dimension for you as an actor coming into a project where you know that there's this fan base that already knows the story, already loves the story? It's already a best-selling novel out in the world. So is there like a different responsibility that you feel in how you portray the character versus maybe the preconception that audiences already have about the character from reading the book?
I mean, I didn't have the opportunity to read the book before I started the film.
Mm.
I started reading books mentioned by my character in the film, so that I'd have my character's sort of take on what he'd read and what he'd experienced rather than the book. I mean, I would have liked to have Gabrielle. I just read her book tomorrow, and she is such a beautiful writer, and so many little nuanced little moments and little things she writes about that speak directly to me. I mean, it's hard in a film to get that. You only have a certain amount of time in a film.
Yeah.
And, for instance, to read the book takes, 12 hours or 10 hours or more than that for me. But, so it's a bigger world sort of in a way. But I think they captured it and captured at least this version of what you wanted to say. So I was really just enamored by, like, the other actors I was working with. I got to really just kind of sit back and, you usually find improv in scenes and stuff. And this, I really, like, stuck to the script, didn't, like, get goofy at all in a way, and just kind of, like, let him be himself and just read the words.
That's cool. When you think about some of the the most memorable films of your career, you think of a lot of great casts and a lot of kind of ensembles that you've been a part of. Of course, the Scream movies. I mean, Airheads was a favorite of mine, certainly. It's just like this really awesome, eclectic cast. Is there sort of an art to being, uh, like from your perspective, like someone who's a strong team player, like someone who can contribute in that environment and sort of stand out, but also help to complement the story that everyone's telling?
Yeah, I always look at it as a dance, like you're dancing with other people. Like I always like other people to shine too and find their moments, and you know, especially knowing your role within them. It's like going to a wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's, not your wedding in a sense. So, there's that element to it. Like, this is AJ's film. And at a certain point in the movie, it kind of shifts in this really organic, natural way. But, I don't know. It's wonderful when you work with talented people and you can just like really sit back. I experienced a lot in this, like, my scenes with Christina Hendricks is, I was a fan of hers. In the film, our characters had gone to school together,
Yeah.
but then, she didn't really know me, but I knew her. And that's kind of a little bit like the experience I had on the set. Like, I'm a
Really?
fan of hers. I got to work with her. I mean, I don't know if she knew my work or not, uh, but from my point, I was just like, oh, I'm a fan of hers. So it's kind of like, you know, we went to school together, and I always was a fan of hers there, kind of thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, we touched on it a little bit before. I have to ask you, you're always so well known in between your film projects for, I don't know if we'd call them extracurricular activities, but following your passions.
Extracurricular
you're
activities.
you're
Yeah.
yeah, but we know your pro wrestling career. You've come out. You've talked a lot about the fact that you've purchased the brand, the trademark for Bozo the Clown. So you're like the driving force behind bringing that to back to the mainstream and to a modern era. What are you looking at going forward? Like, are you going back to wrestling at any point? Are you focused on Bozo, or like where are we going to see David Arquette beyond the big screen?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I love all these different things. I'm going to celebrate Bob Ross's birthday in a couple days to go up to
Of
Muncie,
course.
Indiana, because I'm a certified Bob Ross instructor. But
Wow.
it's just little things that I love about life that I try to stay in touch with, because
Mhm.
those are the things in general that you should spend your time with, the things that you really enjoy. So puppets, I always loved as well, the clowns and just certain things. So on my own time,
Yeah.
the projects that I tend to work on are things that brought me a lot of joy that I want to, bring that for my kids or for other people out there who experienced that when they were growing up.
Mhm. Awesome. Um, Final question for you. And again, thank you. Of course, we want to let people know again, the Storied Life of A.J. Fikry is out on the big screen now. Of course, you'll soon be able to get it digitally, on demand, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be available for you. But as far as being just the type of movie that it is in the theaters, this is something that we don't see a lot of anymore because, of course, the evolution of the theater and everything that went on through the pandemic and sort of the superiority, the domination of superhero movies and big budget action films. What do you think makes it so important and so special that a movie like this is still available for people to go to see in a movie theater?
Oh, I think it's really about the storytelling. I mean, not to knock any superhero films because they have great storytelling now. I mean, I personally think people are becoming better storytellers in general
Yeah.
with the evolution of everything.
Mhm.
But there's something really, um, I don't know, heartfelt, grounding, calming about these types of films where they don't move at a rapid pace, and although there's it keeps unfolding like a really great book
Yeah.
along the way, and there's a mystery, and there's all this sort of you know growth within the characters, and within their relationships. I think there's a lot of life in this movie that you get to see.
That's awesome. And we're all looking forward to it. Those of us who haven't seen it yet, we encourage you to get to the theater and check it out. It's an experience, no matter what screen you watch it on, that you're not going to want to miss. So, David, I know that you're talking to everybody about this. There's a lot to talk about with this movie, but thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Jerry. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Great. And thank you guys for checking us out on Stories. We will see you next time. Thanks, guys.